it is. It was a lot of work to go through and get that certification, but to me, I think it was definitely worth it because of the extra insights that I might have now that I didn't have before. So I want to share some of those insights with you today, this morning. We are here in Las Cruces. It's a beautiful morning so far. I barely beat the train in to the office today, which is always exciting, so I don't have to wait for the train. And over the weekend, we had a great weekend. I went up to visit my grandmother who celebrated her 95th birthday, which is fantastic. And she is alive and well and kicking. And well, she's slowing down, but good grief, she's 95 years old. So we're going to keep her around as long as we can. And, and, it kind of got me thinking about the importance of quality of life, and I think the quality of life is probably more important than longevity. Even though we do want to, most of us want to live as long as we can, but we also want to live as healthily as we can, and that's kind of the business that I'm in. I do a lot of I like to do preventative types of measures rather than try to fix a problem once it's already really well established. And one of the problems that I work with a lot is the chronic pain, especially in young mothers. And we're not talking about mothers that are that are getting older. We're talking about 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds that are having chronic pain. I mean, and if you have kids of any age, especially school age kids, and you're a mother, you know how difficult it can be. I mean, and a lot of mothers have a full-time job. So, I mean, just trying to get through the workday sometimes can be just mind-bogglingly difficult. And you know that because of your chronic pain, you're not on top of your game. You're not giving your A game. You know that your outdoor activities have been limited because of your pain. You just can't get out there as much, and you know that maybe the house is suffering a little bit, and you feel guilty for asking for help. I'm one of those people that I like to do everything myself, and so if I have to ask for help for something, that can be really, really difficult and humbling. And so if you need help around the house with just the basic chores that you do, cooking, cleaning, laundry, sometimes it's really hard to ask for help. And then if you're having chronic pain, it's darn near impossible to get everything done. Take care of your kids, pick up your kids. If you have small kids, I mean, how hard is it if you have chronic low back pain? How difficult is it to just pick up your child, and you hope your child doesn't think that you hate them for because you can't pick them up, but they just don't understand. And so all of these things that can happen when you're a mother with chronic pain, and what we're looking for is a good solution. And did you know that hormone imbalances can cause or amplify your chronic pain? Now, how many of us think about that? How many times do you go to your family care doctor and you're saying, "Hey, I've got this chronic pain," and they prescribe you medications without taking one look about to why you're having those pains? And how many of them even think to check your hormones? To me, this is an unfortunate situation that we have in. So when I have a patient that has chronic pain, whether it's low back pain, neck pain, headaches, joint pain, nerve pain, whatever it is, my first thing is we do a physical assessment, of course. Sometimes the pain can be generated from, joints or muscles or things like this, but then they can be amplified by hormones. So why don't do we do a simple blood test that checks your hormone levels to make sure that they're balanced? And I'll tell you what, more often than not, with these mothers that come in that have these chronic pains, they have hormone imbalances and they have other nutritional imbalances that we also check. And this can be a, an amplification of the pain. And so if we don't treat that, we can do our adjustments, we can do our chiropractic treatments, we can prescribe, you can take a medication or something like that, which will give temporary relief, but the pain always comes back. And that's what we want to eliminate. We don't want the pain to come back, or if it does come back, we want to at least have it manageable so it's not interfering with all your activities. So you can go out on your hikes again, so you can pick up your children, so you can keep up around the house, so you can get through your work day, so you can sleep at night. That's a big one. How many of you have not been able to sleep at night because your pain just keeps coming back and returning? Well, that's the thing that we're trying to eliminate, and we want to do this within 60 days. I know that's a lofty goal, but you know what? And 60 days may sound like it's a long time because you want that instant relief. I get it. But what we want to do is we want to get rid of the pain. We want long-term solutions. We don't want a quick fix. We don't want a band-aid. We don't want to cover up the symptoms so that they can sit and fester and get worse over time. We want to attack this at the root of the problem. We want to attack this at the root, and we want to just get rid of it, or at least dramatically reduce it. And we can do that through hormone testing. Once we have the results of the tests, then we can have a treatment plan. We have a plan that will specifically target and correct the imbalances. And to me, that's really important, to get really specific and find the underlying cause and to treat that. Now, I have a natural approach, and I use the lab testing. I like to be evidence-based. I like to know that my treatments are working. So we do a lab before, we do a treatment plan, we do a lab after, and we check those values to make sure that we're seeing the results. The downside about relying on symptoms, because we want to rely on the symptoms, we want to get rid of the symptoms. And this has happened before, where someone comes in, they have symptoms, we do the lab testing, we find the imbalances, and we start treating those. And 60 days later, we come in, we do a recheck, and they're like, I do feel a little bit better, but I still feel awful. And we check the labs, and we're seeing that we're getting more balanced, but we're still not quite there yet. Now, what if we hadn't have looked at the labs? Then we would have saying, well, okay, well, this treatment isn't really working, and we would abandon it. But with the labs, we can make sure that we're seeing those changes, even though you may not feel a difference in your symptoms. And so symptoms are important because they tell us that there's a problem, but they don't tell us if the problem is getting better all of the time. And so we have to have another outside measure. And so that's why I rely on lab testing a little bit more than the symptoms. Again, the symptoms tell me there's a problem. The lab tells me what the problem is and if it's getting better or if it's getting worse. And so it tells me if my treatments are effective or if they're not effective. Now, in addition to the labs and the hormone balancing and everything like that, we do that through a natural approach, but we want to give you that almost instant pain relief as well, even if it's temporary. So during this process, we do make sure that we're giving some chiropractic treatments to kind of keep that pain at bay. It goes away for a little while, it comes back, we do another treatment, it goes away, it comes back, while we're working on that long-term underlying problem so that we can eliminate that problem permanently, or at least dramatically reduce that problem. And so that's kind of the approach that I like to take in my office. And so I hope you learned something today, that yes, indeed, hormone imbalances, nutritional imbalances can cause or amplify your chronic pain symptoms, whether it's a muscular problem, whether it's a joint problem, whether it's a disc problem in your spine, whether it's a fibromyalgia type problem, whether it's a nerve type problem, numbness, tingling, burning, whether it's a plantar fasciitis problem, headaches, migraines, all those sorts of things can be caused or amplified by hormones. And so if we're not checking the hormones, I think we're missing a big piece of the picture. And let me tell you, I don't think that anyone else in Las Cruces is doing this and incorporating the chiropractic treatments, which is a natural approach, along with the hormone testing and natural approaches to balance those hormones. I don't think anyone's doing that. So I think that my approach is very, very unique in that aspect, and it's very effective, to be honest with you. So I hope this has helped. And so if you know anyone that is having these chronic pain symptoms, that have been to doctors, that have been to physical therapy, that have been to massage therapists and the pain keeps coming back, let them know about me. Let them know about my office. Let them know about Simply Chiropractic. I know the Simply Chiropractic is kind of a misnomer because we do chiropractic there, but we also do so much more. But we do try to keep it simple for you and try to make it very basic for you. So the basics are: one, you schedule an appointment for a consultation and examination. Two, we get the lab reports done. And three, we get a treatment plan. And then, of course, the fourth would be to, after the treatment plan, to recheck and kind of start the process over again. But it's really as simple as 1, 2, 3. And so I hope that this has been helpful. I hope you enjoyed this little talk. And I hope to see you soon. If you're a mother that has the chronic pains, I really do hope to see you soon so that we can get you better. You'd think that this program would be something that's very, very expensive. I think that it's really not, because if you think about all of the money that you've spent on doctor's appointments, physical therapy, medications, I think that you'll find that my solution is much, much less expensive over time and more effective. So not to say that those other modalities don't work, because they do, but the more other therapies, the more we can look at you as a person, the better we can be in our treatments. And I like to tell people that, I don't treat symptoms, I treat the person. So, and every person's a little bit different. You'll find that each person has a completely different treatment plan, even though they may be coming in for headaches. There could be, 3 different reasons, 3 different treatment plans for headaches, just as an example. So I hope this has been helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Please check out the website. We're revamping the website. We're going to be making some changes. Right now, there is still available a free ebook on the website, www.simplychiropracticlc.com. On the homepage, you're going to see a free ebook that talks about hormones and pain. Go to my website, download that. It's a free gift for you. It's not going to be there for much longer. Okay, so you've got to go probably this week or next week to download that book. So as my free gift to you. So check it out. My website is listed in the comments section if you're on Facebook here. And please, please, please check that out. It's free information. You can share it with anybody, but it's not going to be available for much longer than a couple more weeks. Okay, so thank you very much for listening, and you enjoy the rest of your day, and take care of yourself, take care of each other.